Religious Reflections.
You're listening to BBC Local Radio and BBC Sounds. This week's Sikh Reflection focuses on identity and how to keep one's dignity when faced with aggression and disrespect. Jagjit Singh-Sohal also talks about putting on his regimental uniform to answer the call of the community.
My name is Jagjit Singh-Sohal, but people call me Jay. I'm Birmingham born and bred, where I still live with my family. Being raised in this great city has been a blessing in more ways than one. I live in a diverse place, which, with its industrial heritage, provided my migrant grandparents and parents jobs and opportunities to prosper and for our family to grow. Today, Birmingham is home to tens of thousands of Sikhs and dozens of gurdwaras, or places of Sikh worship. We've come far as a community that hasn't only just succeeded, but rather shapes the future of our region, from business to entertainment, education to public service. And we see the good that Sikhs also do through seva, or selfless service, helping others in need during this year's COVID restrictions, be it with food or other needs and requirements all over Britain. And this will continue into winter and beyond as Sikhs work and pray for the betterment of all mankind. I'm glad to have had the opportunity to play my part in helping others too, not just through charity, donations and volunteering, but by doing something special. When the COVID lockdown was announced, I stepped forward and mobilised in my role as a British Army reservist, putting my work and family life on hold to serve my country in uniform, to help keep people safe and secure during these testing times. For me, it's important to live up to the meaning of my name, Jagjit, meaning champion of the world, in Gurmukhi, the language of the Gurus. My name is drawn from Sikh scripture, our living and eternal Guru, Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and I have always felt the responsibility of it, the need to serve, to lead. I was born in 1983 and consider it a blessing, as it was the year when the Turban Rights Campaign led to the Mandla versus Lee ruling in the House of Lords, which established legal protection for turban-wearing Sikhs in the UK. It meant that I, and many of us like me, could and should have grown up without fear of being discriminated against in life or livelihood for maintaining uncut hair and wearing a turban to adorn it. It should have also meant that Sikhs then and now did not feel the pressure to cut one's hair or beard for fear of not being employable or fitting in, although of course some Sikhs do, as it is their right as individuals with free choice. I grew up surrounded by Sikhs who kept their khes, or unshorn hair, from my father, uncles and cousins, to friends, kids at school and members of our sangat, or congregation, and so never felt or desired to lose my khes. Hair is the most precious of gifts given by God and is recognised as such as one of the 5 Ks or kakars, symbols of faith within Sikhdom. For practising Sikh men and women, keeping khes has always been and always will be an important aspect of practising our faith, the surest sign of our devotion to God and the true Guru who gave us this form. Don't get me wrong, there were and still are always challenges, being picked on at school for looking different, or being called names in the street for having a top knot or turban. I for one still had those unpleasant experiences. But the hard-fought Turban Rights Campaign should still, nearly 4 decades on, give confidence to young Sikhs that they have protection to live in accordance with our teachings without fear of discrimination. This sits alongside the confidence that has grown over this time within the community at large, one which puts an arm, mostly virtual these days, around young Sikhs struggling with their identity to say, "It's okay, we're here for you, you were born to stand out for a reason, be strong and Guru will guide you." We recently saw this very community ethos when a video went viral showing a young Sikh schoolboy from Telford being beaten up by 2 others his age. His head covering had fallen off, and his beautiful hair exposed to the world. They mocked him, not knowing the source of his difference was the greatest of our strength. It brought tears to my eyes, and no doubt many others felt and responded emotionally when they saw this depressing scene, one which many of us experienced ourselves during our youth. We had, after all, made such good progress to ensure our children are raised with their faith, could live without fear of keeping their distinct identity, and with our selfless service in the community, the hope that non-Sikhs understood and respected who we are. Were we wrong? Was it just an isolated incident? While the police responded well to the hate crime and Sikhs worldwide rallied to support the young lad, the incident for me capped off many months spent campaigning to tackle hate crime in the West Midlands. We've seen a continuous rise in hate crime affecting people of all faiths over the years, but many Sikhs, for various reasons, will not report it. But this must change if we are to tackle the source of the prejudice leading to this crime. The Telford incident also came near the time of the birth anniversary, or Gurpurab, of the founder of the Sikh faith, Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Guru Nanak was born in 1469 in the village of Talwandi near Lahore in modern Pakistan. His father, himself religious, had consulted a sage about the child's destiny and was told he would be a great prophet or Peer. The Guru thus grew up within a family that acknowledged his spiritual birthright, accepted his long, uncut hair and turban as was the custom of other religious icons of the time. The teachings of Guru Nanak promoted the oneness of God and the benefits of meditating upon him in a communal setting as well as personally at all times. Guru Nanak espoused the practice of truthful living, earning honestly, and instructed people away from empty ritualism. He taught the faithful to be charitable and share what they had with others. The turban was adorned by Guru Nanak for its practical and spiritual qualities and became synonymous with the Sikh creed. For the Guru, the turban represented discipline, strength and a code of ethics. The hair of the Sikhs was not matted or shaved like others, but rather kept uncut in accordance with the will of God and practically maintained within layers of cotton cloth. Within Sikh scripture, Guru Nanak describes meeting with God in a way that shows the Creator's form is only complete with unshorn hair. The great Lord Master is unfathomable and infinite. Your eyes are so beautiful, and your teeth are delightful. Your nose is so grateful, and your hair is so long. Your body is so precious, cast in gold. This and other references in scripture adds depth to the Sikh belief that the hair is holy. God's appearance to the Guru as such should mean that all Sikh disciples should keep their bodily hair, whether it be on their head, face or elsewhere. The Guru also explained in his poetry that the human body was only complete with a turban, and so his followers took up the garb to show their allegiance to the Guru and to God. Why? Because the turban is the most ideal way of managing and maintaining uncut hair on the head. Looking different in this way means we behave differently too. You cannot hide as a Sikh. We are distinct, so we stand out in a crowd, meaning we are there for those who need help and guidance, meaning we cannot shirk rightful action when we see something wrong, meaning we are also held to account for improper or unjust deeds. That is the responsibility that comes with living in accordance with the Guru's hukum, or order, of keeping kais and adorning it with a crown, a turban. It is a blessing, our duty to mankind, and one which I'm proud to represent and encourage many more to respect and emulate.